We're now on Kuf Yud Dalid Amid Beis, and the question is, if we only had a derivation for Lolisfu Yadayim in the case of Shrotzim, we would have said Mishum Di Surah B'Mashu. The Torah is more Machmer in Shrotzim than other Isurim, which has a shear. We have a shear of Kezayis. Here it's B'Mashu. Even if he eats a Ke'adasha, that's the top Rashi, which is a very, very small minimal amount, he violates the Isur of Shrotz. Now, the source for this is Tumah, because a sheretz is only mitame if it's the size of a kadash. And we're deriving for that, the Isur Achila in sheretz is only if it's kadash. Avol dam, the adika revius, the shear for dam is a revius. Emolo, perhaps there's no din of lahazir gdolim al ktanim, whatever that means. It might mean beis mitzvah milat fricho. It might mean isurs lispos v'yadayim. So there's a kula in dam and a chumra in shrotz. V'yashmeina in dam, I would say this is a chumra beis mitzvah milat fricho, or at least an isur sefia b'yadayim with regard to dam mishum dika karetz. Avol shrotzim is not isur karetz, only isur malchus emalo, and therefore we needed the isur being machil lekatan, even an isur kal like shrotzim. Yashmin and hani tarti. Let's say we had both shrotzim and dam. What's right? So why do we need two maskanim? So what's the common chumrah of both dam and shrotzim? Mishum di suram shava bakol. Right, so we have something called a lav shein shabakol lav dekura. Avol tuma, which is a lav shein shabakol. Aim low, perhaps the Torah was not machbir to teach us and lahazir gdol bal ktanim. Therefore, the Torah had to write it out explicitly in the case of tumas kohen. V'i yashmeinon tuma. And if the Torah would have told me only with regard to the Isur Tumah, that we have to make sure the cotton is not, the cotton who's a Kohen is not mitame, is Kohanim Shayim Mishum Deribo and Mitzvahs Yiseros. Maybe the Torah is more machmir in Kahuna. There are many chumras in Kahuna that don't apply to Klal Yisrael as a whole. Therefore, the Torah is machmir lahazir al ktan. Avol hani, but the Isur sheretz and the Isur dam is a malo tzricha. Comes out, we need all three limudim: shkotzim, dam, and tumas kohen. And here he tells you about the Ramban. For some reason, I don't see him quoting the Ramban. He quotes the name of the Beis Yosef, but you can trust me, this is a Ramban al Torah, that from these three cases we extrapolate to all Isurei Torah. And it seems that this is a dorais, at least if you feed the katan with your yadayim. I wonder what would be if you feed the cotton an Isur D'Rabbanan, would you violate the Isur D'Oraisa of Sfir? Tashma. Now we go back to our Mishnah, and we wanted to bring a raya from our Mishnah that cotton ochel neveils based on mitzvah lafricho shnei achim echad pikeach v'echad chirich nisuim shtei achios pikchos meis chirish bal pikachas mayasa pikeach bal pikachas. Now, a pikeach with a pikachas is nisuei Torah. He can't be miyabim, the wife of the cheresh, because that's his wife's sister, an erev min Torah. is therefore his wife's sister, who now falls for Yibum, the Yevamot, is Tete, and she can marry anybody. There's no Zikas Yibum, Mishum Achos Isha. However, Meis Pikeach, Bal Pikachas, so now the Pikachas falls for Yibum in front of the Cheresh, and the Cheresh cannot be Miyabim because it's Shtei Achos. So Ma Yase Cheresh Bal Pikachas, Motzias Ishto Beget. He has to divorce his wife, and again, the same way that he married her, he divorced her with Remiza. And this is all because his wife is Achos Kukasa. And we want to find a way of continuing this marriage, but we can't find such a thing. And Eshes Achiv, the Yevamot, is Asur Liola, because the Cheresh can't do Chalitza. He can't be Miyabim her because Midrabanan, at least she's in a Achos Ishto. Now the Gemara asks the following question on mine: Motzias Ishto, why does the Cheresh have to divorce his wife? With a get, why can't they continue living together? Tesiv Gabe. And what's the status of a Cheresh? It's equal to a Katan. Is Katan Ochel Nevelos who? Why do we have to be Mafreshim? If you can hold that Ein Bezin Mitzuvim Lafrisho, why are we being Mafreshim? So you see clearly that Katan Ochel Nevelos, Bezin Mitzuvim Lafrisho, and the Gemara rejects. You forgot. You left out something important in this calculation. All right, he's a Cheresh, but she is a Pikachas. And a Pikachas is obligated to all Taryag mitzvahs. So Bezdin is going to be B'chayv the Baal Lahotzi es Ishto, to give her a get. Be mafresh ha from the Isur of Achos Bushas. Achos Kuk. Wait a minute. She's only Kuka Midrabana, which is, again, what's the case? So let me just go over this one more time. So we're talking Achim, Shtei Pikchos. Basically, now Keach dies. Again, she's a Pikachas. He's a Cheresh. And she's a Chosi, so I think I was right the first time around. I don't know why we should confuse ourselves. Oshma, Shnei Achim Pikchin. Nisuim Shtei Achos. Achas Pikachas Viachas Chereshes. So the Cheresh is meant to be to a Cheresh, and the Pikeach is meant to be Pikachas. Meis Pikeach Bal Chereshes. One second. Shnei Achim Pikchin, Nisuin L'Shtei Achios, Achas Pikachas, Achas Chereshes. Oh, so the two brothers are Pikchin, sorry. And therefore, one of them is a Pikach married to a Chereshes. And he dies in the first case. Ma'yasa Pikach Al Pikachas. Now we have a Chos Ishto. is Tete. Is Pikeach Baal HaChereshes. Tete Mishum Achos Ish. Okay, that's simple. Right? The Chereshes who fell for Yibum is the sister of the Yevam's wife. Oh, Meis Pikeach Baal Pikachas. What happens now? We're talking about a Zika Doraisa. Now she falls for Yibum to the Baal HaChereshes, who's her sister. Ma'yasa Bikeach Baal HaChereshes. Now he has a Chiv Zika Min HaTorah. Now, his wife cannot patter up the Yevama because his wife is only a Nesuin D'Rabbanan. She's a Chereshes. His Motzias Ishto Beget. She's a Chos Kukaso. And Eishes Achiv Bechalitza. Because he's a Pikeach, so he can do Chalitza. And she's a Pikachas. Right? Because Meis Pikach Bala Pikachas. So the Chalitza is not a problem. In fact, the Gemara, Amai Motzias Ishto Beget Tesav Kabei Kotanochel Nevelos who I don't understand the Hamamini. I mean, he himself is going to be violating the Isser of Achos Ishto. At least on a Drabbana level. I guess the Gemara thinks that since it's Drabanan, his marriage to the Chereshes is only Nesu Drabanan, therefore we should apply the principle of Ein Bezna Mitzuvin Lafrisha. Teisi Gabe, Kodnat Lizos, Gemara answers, Mishum Isura Dide. He's a Pikeach. And he's a Gadol, and he's Chayiv Mitzvahs. Okay, here the Isu would only be D'Rabbanan, because the Nesuin is D'Rabbanan, but it doesn't matter. Every time he has a relationship with her, he violates the Isu D'Rabbanan. Omar Rava, Tosh Mashnei Achim Echad Cherich, V'Echad Pikeach. Nesuin L'Shtei Achios. Achas Pikachas V'Achas Chereshes. Oh, this is the case that I mentioned before. We match up the Cheresh with the Chereshes and the Pikeach with the Bakachas. Meis Cheresh Bala Chereshes. So now the Chereshes falls for Yibum in front of the Pikeach. Ma'yasa Pikeach Bala Pikachas. He cannot be Miyabim her. Because she is the sister of his wife. That's an Eved Doraisa. Is Teitze Mishum Achos Ishto. Okay, fine. But Meis Pikeach Baal Pikachas. And now we're talking about Yibum Doraisa and a Zika Doraisa, and she's falling in front of a Cheresh. And a Cheresh, in this case, cannot do Chalita. Nor can he be Miyabim her, because she is Achos Ishto Mirabana. Is Motzias Ishto Beget, because she's Achos Kukoso, the Ashes Achiv Asur Liolam. There's no possibility neither of Yibum nor of Chalitza, and the Zika Doraisa. Back to Gemara, Hacha. Dilavi Suradi Da Ika, Lavi Suradi Deika. He's a Cheresh, she's a Chereshes. So why do you force him to divorce his wife? It must be the Bezin Mitzuvah Frisho Ktani Motzius Ishto Beget. Omer Rav Shmaya, there's no raya. Why? Ksera Mishum HaToras Yevamot Shuk. Says Yeshem Yavo Lahatir Yevam Zu L'Chol Adam. Shanoshim Yiru Osam Dorim Yachav Lo Yodu Masiba Shem Afrishin Osam V'Yomer She'en Kan Klal Zika Kemen She'Nesuin Shal Cheresh Af Shahoyu Nesuin D'Rabbanan Dochim Zika Dorais Umutarim Lodur Af L'Chatchila V'Yatir Lachos HaChereshes, who's again she's Kuka L'Yivim Doraisa L'Yivim L'Nosei L'Nosei L'Chol Adam Shelo Kidin. So again, the spectator is going to make the mistake that since the Zika, that even though the Zika is Doraisa, but nevertheless, for the sake of the Nisuin of Cheresh, we're going to be Docha Zika Doraisa. And if anyone is allowed to marry. Do you follow? Because there's no Zika, and that's what, because in their mind, the Nisuin Rabbanan that are being maintained here by the Chachamim are somehow Mavatel, the Zika Doraisa. Well, he calls it Docha Zika Doraisa. So anyone can marry it. And that would be a violation of an Isur Yom L'Chuk. L'chein asur aleim lahamshich ladur yachad yotzia beget al chol isurim katan okol nevelos v'ein tzarich lafrisha. And that's the final maskana la'alocha, that katan ochel nevelos ain bezdin mitzubin lafrish. That's how we pass it. And then let me wish you a great day.